We are live, and welcome to the Killer Be Killed podcast. I'm here with George. Haven't seen him in a while, and we'll catch up.
I'm still alive.
But first, Tom, good to see you. Jumping on. But first things first. I got a shameless plug, and the poll ends at 6. Hold on. At 6 p.m. EST today. Okay. So my kid is nominated for high school basketball athlete of the week in our area. So there's a poll that everybody's cheating on. So what's up, Kip? So I'm going to share this in the chat. And if you can, click on that and vote as many times as you freaking want. So just click, either hit refresh and go back. He's a good kid. It ends at 10 o'clock. It ends at 6 p.m. tonight. Tom, I know you can get a lot more traffic there. Tom, get one of those bots to freaking do like 1 million. Crash the site the last time. So, yeah. So anyway, give him a vote, give him a little love, and that's it. So, George, how are you?
You know what? I'm alive. That's all that matters at this point, right?
Does it though? I mean, depending on your life. I mean,
I gotta tell you, man, the healthcare system is just unbelievable, and not a good unbelievable. So I get a call, and they're referring me to some fucking doctor for all these tests and everything, and they're like, yeah, you'll get a call. You can have a phone consultation on February 15th. This was like mid-January. I'm like, so I'm going to die here for the next month, and then I can talk to somebody. I just, what? Right. Whatever.
Dude, whatever. I don't think it's any better here, because over the holiday weekend, like everybody else, I got the COVID.
Yep.
I'm glad, because I wanted to chickenpox this stuff and get it so I could just get it over with. So I did. And then funny story. It just felt like a cold, right? I was definitely achy and slept more than usual. I tried working out like once, and it was like 4 days, let's say from like Sunday to like Thursday. Thursday started feeling better. Friday morning was like New Year's Eve. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's go someplace. But then all of a sudden by 5 o'clock, I was in bed.
Yeah.
And then I woke up the next day. And at this point, I hadn't eaten in like 72 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up, I go downstairs, and it's hysterical because I'm in the kitchen and I'm talking to my wife. And all of a sudden, like, I get up, I sit up, and all of a sudden, like, I feel like I'm getting choked out. Like, that's it. So all Angela said was like, all you said was, oh shit, like that. And I felt, boom. So, she looks at me and I'm like, I'm fine. I was like, it was just like getting choked out. And I'm like, I have to eat something. I'm like, and my body's fighting something. So that was it. I didn't really have a fever or anything like that. So, speaking of the healthcare system, so we go to like an urgent care up here, which is not the hospital. And I'm like, let me just go in and see if they can actually just give me something, give me the, the antiviral, the mono, whatever the fuck it is, or, something, if, I wanted to just knock it out of my system. But because I'm not 55, this is how screwed up it is. First, she looks at me. She's like, the doctor's like, you could have blood clots. You should go get a CAT scan.
Jesus. Thanks.
I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, they did a chest x-ray. Not that they would see it there, but they did all, they did their usual shit. I'm like, I'm fine. I don't even have a temperature. I'm like, she's like, you gotta go. She's like, you should go. So of course my wife's like, you're freaking dumb. So I'm like, shit. So New Year's Day, I go down to the freaking hospital, and they put me in a room, and they're like moving me around, and I'm there for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Until finally I'm like, I'm leaving. They took some blood, and every one of them was like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, urgent care told me to come here. And, this is, now we're talking about now all of a sudden, like, the hospitalization thing. One.
Yeah.
Two, now, even if I qualified for the mononuclear, the freaking, the treatment for it. They didn't even have any.
Awesome.
So we got vaccines, but we don't have the treatment. And if you're really concerned about this shit, you would be just treating people.
Yeah.
You get sick, you get treated. You get sick, you get treated. You get sick, you get treated. So this, like, the whole how this thing has been steered is crazy. It's like they want people to get sick so they can, vaccinate them. And I don't want to say that V word too many times because people lose their freaking minds. And it's like, do we want to cure people? Do we want to help people? What are we doing? Yeah. I know if I was living in Florida, it wouldn't have been a problem because they got clinics set up specifically for the COVID. So anyway, last week I was out at SHOT Show with our new partner, Rounded Gear.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. And by the way, half of the team got COVID. I did not. And while I had COVID and my daughter's boyfriend had COVID, my wife and my son didn't get it. Neither did my daughter. So, I mean, it's just what it is, right? We are partnered with them. Rounded Gear used to be Concealment Express. And they started with selling Kydex holsters. Now they're getting more in the lifestyle bit of it all. And the two things that had a huge impact on the booth. One is they have now concealed carry yoga pants.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, shit. You think about it. Well, let's put it this way. Half in the U.S., in 2021, there were 9 million new gun owners. Half of them were women.
Mm-hmm.
All of them wear yoga pants.
But like yoga pants nearly conceal, like they don't conceal anything anyways.
Well, now think about this, like around the waist, and then you just blouse it. They have shirts that blouse over it.
Okay. Well, there you go.
So you have, you're wearing your athletic wear. You really can't tell, you can't see the imprint and stuff like that. I mean, if you were really looking and you said to somebody, that woman's carrying a firearm, and you look at it, and, oh, yeah, it's over, I see it. But for the most part, nobody's looking at it. Nobody, it's people give themselves far more credit than they are for their observation skills.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I've had some guys be like, well, I noticed those ripcords on the backpack. I don't know you freaking would. I go, if you're going to look at anything, you got to look at people's hands.
Yep.
And I go, and the rest comes to follow. So, you're not looking at, the backpack. And if it gets to the point where you can recognize our backpack in everyday life, I've probably sold about 5 million of them, and I'm going to be very happy.
Yes.
So anyway, what's happening is Rounded Gear, we're doing some exciting things with them. They'll be handling sales and distribution. We're going to kind of transition over the next 3 months to do that. And then we're doing some things on the other side of things that I really can't talk about right now.
Okay.
And, and that's it. And as Nick says, Nick is always in gym clothes. Yeah, dude, I want to see you in some yoga pants.
That's right.
For sure, brother. So, yeah. So it was really exciting. A great group of guys. Like, hung out, fit in. I would love to say that I went around and saw every booth at the show, but I didn't see crap because all I did was get in there and just hustle and work and, met a couple, God, I forget these three guys' names. I met 2 UFC fighters from Brazil that we hit it off. And there's another badass from Brazil, law enforcement, that loved the backpack. And Rosas, we're gonna, get together and do some stuff and distribute these down there.
Nice.
But yeah, one guy was like a 220-pounder. The other guy was like a light, like a lightweight, and the other guy was like a light heavy.
Okay.
Both dudes, they got pictures of them with Dana White and crap like that. And if I wasn't told, this was on the afternoon of day 3, which is like actually day 4, so which is like I'm fried. I was trying to remember Giovanni Godoy's name to the guy. I just knew where he was. I was like, all I was doing was talking about freaking backpacks and body armor for like 4 days straight.
Yeah.
So, these guys are fighting. Hopefully I'm gonna get that information from them so I can give them a little love. But dude, they're professional fighters. They were like, they felt like twisted coiled springs. You know what I mean? I'm like, you fucking grab them, the body's just like feels like iron. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. I mean, when you're training and you're teaching, and like when I was competing, and you'd feel these dudes, and you're like, yeah, man, that fucking brought back a whole like, I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I know what that feels like. But
Yeah.
it's funny. It's like, when you meet people who are fighters, you have a different, like, there's a different subtle body language.
Yeah.
The way you shake hands, the way the way you're looking at, the way you look at each other, and then there's like that immediate connection.
Yes.
Very, very cool stuff. These guys, and I think it was, again, as I said, we had some fun doing that. And, we'll see what happens this month, but a lot of exciting things happening. It's all good. And so what's going on with the family? Good. Mom is...
she's doing all right. She's been going through her chemotherapy. They've also now added the immunotherapy with it. So, she has good days. She obviously has bad days. But all we can do, man, is take one day at a time, right?
That's how we get them.
She's been keeping food down, which is really good. She gained back a couple pounds, but at the end of the day, there is no cure, right? So it's just appreciate the time you've got.
Yeah, shit. I said, my buddy just lost his... Dude, living means dying, brother. It's like, shout out to my buddy Kobe, who's lost his sister who OD'd, battling her whole life about a week ago. Yeah, man, but it's just that stuff. I'm like, yeah. So okay, enough of that. So we let's start. You pulled some interesting videos for us, and again, I don't
I don't understand all of them either.
And I'm like,
and here's the best part. I found it in literally
holy shit, hold on. All right. So that thing just got away from me real quick.
Uh-oh.
So anyway.
Yeah, it took all of a minute and a half to find these videos. I mean, that's how much crap is out there.
I can't,
Oh, and before you jump into the videos, for those of you who saw the dog spinning like 40,000 times before she laid down behind me, 2 days ago. Yeah, 2 days ago, she went to the vet to be spayed, and she had her eye fixed, and then she had something called a gastropexy for her stomach. So next 10 to 14 days, she's going to be just ridiculous.
Okay, fair enough. Now, did you get spayed?
I haven't been fixed yet, but I probably should since I'm fucking falling apart.
Right. I've been fixed.
I don't know. Nobody's gonna want me to donate any fucking thing after all of this.
Dude, not only have I been fixed, I had testicular cancer, so the left one is gone. So, yeah.
I had another one of the dogs neutered. He was confused. He couldn't figure out where his balls went either.
Right. And you know what's funny? I really didn't start missing it until like about 2 years later, about a year and a half later.
Do you ever get like phantom?
Always. Always.
Go to scratch it and ain't there.
It was weird. I'm like sitting there, I'm like, maybe I should have dropped the prosthetic in. At the time, I'm like, screw it. And that was like, no. That didn't
or maybe get a gold-plated one or something, like the fucking one.
That was me. I don't know if you saw remember my post on Facebook where I posted Wilson from Castaway.
Yes, yep.
And I did the whole thing. So I was asking for suggestions, which were, everything from Crazy 8-Ball to like a vibrating thing or something, right? All good shit, good stuff. So, all right, let's share. So we're going to start with the boobs grabber.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you, I may shock you with, what I'm going to say here, but all right. So you see it, it's coming up. Okay. Great. Now, first, hold on. So this guy's great because This is obviously his girlfriend, and she's way too good looking for him.
Oh yeah.
So good for him.
Yeah.
You know. So essentially, this is a rear body grab. I know the boobs hug is, you know, whatever. Again. So I'm not so much about trapping the arm, but I don't have a problem with this too much. I mean, right? I'm like, you know, I wouldn't trap the arm. I would just, you know, whatever. You just turn
Just
and
turn
just go.
and start fucking going at him. Yeah.
Go. So at the end of the day, I'm not, because you're not gonna. That's not the. Again, you're trapping this, and your whole point is to just get the guy off of you. So the only thing I would suggest is that, you know, if we're treating this like a rear bear hug, where there would be some impact, but clearly in this thing there's not. I mean, he's coming up to cop a feel, and I guess I don't know what the end game is on this, like where he's going with it. So I got her boobs, you know.
Well, and this is what I'm thinking. I'm just thinking about, you know, our instructors, and, you know, you're doing a workshop for 30 or 40, you know, women in the healthcare or legal industry. We're probably not wanting to go and be grabbing, you know, each of their boobs.
Or we are, but we're definitely not.
Or we are, but we shouldn't.
So, I mean, yeah, but again, so this would be, let's treat this as a rear body grab. Again, the only difference here is that, you know, you've got to, like, if it was a real like bear hug, to clarify, we use the term body grab. Excuse me, is that there would be some impact from the rear, and you'd want to like get your balance first, because that's going to be naturally happen and lower your center of gravity. But then, yeah, actually, you know, then just trying to take your head off with your elbow or top of your, or the top of your arm, you know, or edge of hand is totally cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, again, just the arm trap is just something that, you know, you don't want to have to think about that, because you want to be aggressively attacking your attacker as soon as possible.
That's right.
Right. So, you know, as soon as you're training to locate the hand, you're paying attention to something that is not, it's not causing you any damage anymore. I know they would say, and I'm going to say it for, well, you want to pin them so you can push more, put more force into your blow. Okay. Only issue with that is, one, that I mentioned before, you're taking your mind away from actually being aggressive when you're pinning the arm down. Two, even when you're rotating it, you know, you're still, you know, you're moving. Look at the hand moves out from underneath the arm. So you kind of can't do two things at once. You can't hold, and you can't necessarily pin that way, because you're rotating your whole body. So you're pulling the pin away. And, you know, for the most part, you want to put all the juice you can into that elbow strike. So anything you do to stop the rotation of your body and to stop the footwork, which is what the pin kind of does, you know, isn't gonna help you with your cause. And you'll see it in the video. Like, as she's moving, you know, the hand starts sliding out as she's making impact. So why even bother with that?
I gotta say, though, he makes the best facial expressions.
He's awesome.
Look at that.
He's awesome.
When he grabs the boobs, look when he grabs the boobs.
Again, I like what he's doing. I mean, he's punching above his weight. You know, good for him. You know, I'm not hating on him.
Well, he's got it all figured out. Ass grabbing, boob grabbing.
Right. Right. If this were on another, you know, website, who knows what defenses we'd be saying.
That's right. What is that? OnlyFans? They must have their own OnlyFans account.
I can't even imagine. I don't even go on there, dude. I don't go on there. I don't go on Twitch. I don't go on anything. I'm like, so yeah, I'm a freaking dinosaur. But yeah, man, I'm not going on OnlyFans. I don't even know where, you know, I wind up on like a NAMBLA website or something.
That's right.
Dude, I just, so, you know, yeah. So yeah. So anyway, props to him. I mean, I give it, you know, this is like 7 out of 10. You know, it's like it's not bad. It's just doing that. Just get rid of the freaking arm pin and just turn around, and just hit him.
This guy is so much better than our friend, that cop wannabe.
Yeah, dude, that dude. Oh my God! I keep my buddy who's in one of my buddies in law enforcement. It's like, you know, like fucking, he like sends me video like every week of this guy.
Oh yeah, that guy gets so much fucking flack.
He should. He's out of his mind, but he doesn't care.
No.
And again, that makes me appreciate him. You know, it's like he just goes forward. I don't freaking care. He's like, no, screw you. We're just going.
He had one recently, and I don't think I sent it to you, but there was, there's a black guy holding, the gun, but the gun, and he's holding it sideways, right?
Yes, I saw that one.
Yeah, but it looked like the gun was made of like fucking. It looked like the gun was made of Lego.
Right.
Oh, that guy's awesome. He's awesome. He's gonna get half the world killed.
So Earl puts out, I guess I'm not teaching my daughters to stomp the knee was incorrect. Yeah, Earl. I mean, think about the position from a rear body grab. Stomping the knee. When you pick up, you have somebody. I mean, look at module 4, please. So you have somebody bear hugging you. You need your feet, especially anyone who bear hugs you is going to be bigger and stronger and have comfort in attacking you in this way. They're not going to be smaller. They're not going to, unless they are, comfortable grappling. And then you've got a whole host of problems.
That's right.
So you're not going to want to pick up your feet. You're going to want to keep your balance. So maintain your balance and start causing as much damage as possible. Occasionally, in order, you can kick back and stomp. Sorry, Earl, I get it. You're being sarcastic. I appreciate it. It doesn't translate well in text, but it's a good thing to bring up because people actually do this stuff. So yeah. So again, if you're casual, if you can stop the feet, but we practice that stopping motion more to keeping your balance, and then the byproduct would be to occasionally stop the foot or anything like that. But again, you don't want to look down because your head points where your body goes. And if someone's putting their weight on you and you start looking down, there's a good chance that they're a lot bigger than you going to the ground. So you got to get hips out, keep your balance, do that. You got to stop the momentum of the initial assault, and then you can start creating space and looking to take their head off.
And I think it's, we always come right back to the, unless it's extenuating circumstances where you're forced to be really, really close to people, you shouldn't have somebody fucking sneaking up on you anyways and grabbing your boobs from behind. Like nobody is going to walk up to you in the middle of fucking Walmart, you not realize what's going on. And, they grab your boobs or grab you from behind. So, right back to situational awareness. Let's go right back to your awareness course, for crying out loud. Right.
Right. Again, yeah, if you're not paying attention to the world around you, there's no self-defense system that's going to really help you.
Exactly.
It's funny I've been talking to, I said, we're at the show talking about body armor, and it's like, well, do you offer anything above level 3? I go, dude, if you need level 4 body armor, you need a change of lifestyle.
Yes.
So whoever's hitting you with a high-powered rifle, excuse me, COVID.
Yep.
If somebody's hitting you with a if someone's going at you with a high-powered rifle, I'm like, dude, the decision's already been made.
Yeah. Well, it's like the Krav Maga defenses where you're fucking down on your knees and somebody's like fucking point blank behind your head. It's like you've probably done something in your life, more or less likely, to find yourself in a position like that.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, listen, maybe they want to do it for some type of role playing. I don't know. No. But yes. So anyway, let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. This is again.
Oh. Straight up against the wall, stranglehold with all of my fingers wrapped around her neck. She needs to know how to get out of this. The first part of the technique is to tighten her neck by bringing the shoulders up, chin down. This makes less neck for me to choke, right? So this is a good start. The second thing is she's going to take what we call a monkey grip, which means a thumbless grip, and she's going to hook underneath one and over the other. This really secures my arm. If she uses her thumb here, it's a lot easier for me to go into the opening and escape. If she pulls it to her chest here, I'm not going anywhere. Now she breaks back and pulls. And what she's looking for is one individual finger. The idea is to hold that finger tightly and pull it down until the finger breaks. One more time. So here she holds tight with the monkey grip, reaches over the top, breaks whatever finger, and breaks. Doesn't matter if she gets the middle finger, pointer finger, pinky finger, they all hurt the same as far as I'm concerned. So this is a must-know technique. Last time. Here, holds it, pulls back, and finishes.
It's really, before we kind of bash that a little bit, I actually generally like some of this guy's stuff. He's not too bad. This is one though where I saw it and I'm just like, no, just no. He started off pretty good with the whole shrug your shoulders and drop your chin, and then it just went to shit from there.
Right. So what these things and most defenses attacks don't consider is what the actual attack is. So if someone is choking her, okay, that's intent, right? To kill. What else he's going to be doing is taking her and bashing her head against the wall. So, and this all extended shit, it's going to be here. He's like much, much stronger than her. Much stronger than her. And so she's doing this, and all the while, that initial, she'll probably be knocked out, from that first initial hit off the wall. Because you're driving something, you're strangling someone, and then you're coming in and you're smashing and squeezing the crap out of them, and really, again, you're trying to choke someone to death. So it's not going to be like this all extended arm. It's going to be a violent motion. Again, tucking the chin, shoulders. Yeah, this is a natural reaction of what's going on. And then the reality is, in module 4, when we do this stuff, it's like you're just coming over the top and trying to just take their head off.
But you know what? Let's pretend for a moment that he's not closer. Let's pretend that he's not bashing her head. Let's pretend he's actually choking her like this. As soon as she does that fucking monkey grip over here, his right hand is free. He's gonna just start fucking teeing off on the bitch, right? Like, so it just makes no sense for her to be sitting here playing with his arm, trying to play with his fingers. Why are her fucking hands? Why are her fingers not in his eyes? That's what I'd like to know.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to be attacking him. And again, in our first thing with this is just coming over the top, turning your body, trying to take your head off, which will get you out of the choke.
Yes.
If, again, don't get me wrong, if he's locked in there and he's banging your freaking head against it, it's
a bad day.
Shit. Yeah. So, but again, like reaching and trying to locate this, during a violent assault, and when he's actually squeezing his hands, he's not squeezing her neck. He's not trying to smash her. So getting that, finding one finger or two fingers or whatever, it's going to be damn near impossible.
That's right.
Again, this is also fine motor skill sets when you're looking for fingers and stuff. So especially with the initial attack, come over the top, take the head off, turn the body, get your whole body involved to break that, because the strangle itself isn't strong on the finger side.
That's right.
Right? I mean, your thumbs are, if your thumbs are crossed, you're coming in the air and you're grabbing, you're crushing the airway. And you're squeezing the shit out of it. Really, you gotta be strong to kind of pull this. So this is why, but again, being like, your average man against your average woman, could do this. But again, like the fingers in the back, towards the rear of the choke are not connected, and that's really the weak spot. Again,
even the way he placed his hands, you notice his hands came down this way as opposed to this way.
Yeah, they're not all the way up. They're on her shoulders, so he's really not, reaching in and trying to. She tucks and turtles, but for the most part, that's like not going to be able to, that's only giving you enough as a reaction. And more to the point, I like doing that because that'll at least give you kind of a break fall against the wall behind you.
Yes.
So your chin, tucking your chin, always tuck your chin, always drop your head, always always. It's just, it's like this is like day one stuff. So, but again, beyond that, once you start pinning and looking, again, it's all predicated that he actually stops the attack.
Yep.
So that's the beginning of the attack. The real attack is him bashing, and your only chance is to do, is to get away. And then Jason said she kicked him in the legs and by loosening his grip. Correct, but your main objective, especially when your throat is attacked, your main natural reaction is to get your airway clear.
Yes.
Like, I know we like to think that, yeah, okay, Plant kick him in the nuts. No, this guy's choking me and bashing my head against the freaking wall. I'm trying to keep my feet. I'm trying to get out of this as best as I can.
And don't forget too, there's that initial, fear element as soon as they grab, and you have that where you breathe inwards immediately. So you're at a serious disadvantage right from the start when you're like, right, because you can't even breathe out.
Right. We call that the oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Where like, even though you're sitting there before a fight pops off or an attack pops off, you're looking at it like, is this guy coming? Is he coming? What's he doing? Holy shit, he's going for it. Oh shit. Yep. Even if you're like working a job and you're responding to something, when it happens, you still get that oh shit moment.
Yep.
So again, these finite motor skills, and again, you're looking at, a lot of guys like look at stuff and, we'll be like, well, again, Jason brings up a great point, kick him in the nuts. It's like, I get that. But in the reality, when you're getting through the really violent attack, you're going to want to clear the immediate threat to your airway. Right. So that's first and foremost, and keep your balance. You may attack and come back and then move into that. But again, every self-defense situation starts with this. How do I improve my position? How do I improve my situation immediately? Thanks, Jason. Much appreciated.
And we need to come back to what you originally said, Damien.
What was that?
In an attack like this, there's not going to be that distance. And, being a guy who has studied Krav Maga for a number of years, the unfortunate thing is this goddamn zombie choke, right? This distance. And I'll tell you, everything.
Okay, I'm not going to beat up Krav Maga. We should beat up everything because
any reality-based system that teaches the fucking zombie choke, right? The reality is everything from a defensive standpoint works when somebody chokes you like this. But nobody fucking chokes you like that. We're not all in The Walking Dead. You're going to have somebody right in your fucking face. So you need to see attacks that are more accurate. That's the problem, right?
Right. And that just comes with your training partner, and to do it in a way where, well, one, you got to train in a manner that that takes that into account too. If you're working any of this stuff with a training partner, they need to at least they need to simulate some kind of motion and get close to you.
Yes.
Right. And move in and just give you a little feel for it. But then on the same token, you can't practice 100% cleaning their head off with the heel of your hand and doing other stuff. So, these are, again, think about it. Most attacks that train in self-defense end at the initial attack, whether the attacks are real or imagined. They start and then it's like, okay, defend. When you need to consider that the person who's attacking you wants to do to you what you want to do to them. Right? It's not like too complicated. So, right from there, if you premise every rep with that, intent of the attack, then that'll automatically, increase your effectiveness automatically. So, yeah, that was good. So again, we got so we'll do this. Yeah, we got a couple more, George. These are good. Again, it's not, again, to me, like the amount of views that these things get is
it's amazing. And it's not even the amount of views, it's the amount of likes and the amount of, positive comments. And you're like, no, this isn't what people should be learning.
Yeah, man. Well, again, this is why we do what we do, and everybody else is like, well, I'm like, look. So I don't know. I just mumble there, but it's just like this is why we do. Yeah, I know. This is why we do what we do, and this is why so many people think we're wrong.
Yep.
Because we do it because of this, and if you ask me why we do something, I will tell you exactly why. And that's psych. And that's really and that's it. I mean, and I can also tell you why they're doing that. So, all right. Now, just go back. Oh, come on. Stop. Okay, I don't know. It's the PHA. Okay, so the fact that this guy's wearing like some type of ninja burqa, and now, so
it's that zombie.
The attack is ridiculous. I mean, he's massaging him,
Yep.
and now if you're a guy choking another guy like this, the reason why you would do this is to follow up with a headbutt, strike to the groin, a stomp. Again, that is just the beginning of the attack, and it's going to be up close, tight, and personal.
Yes.
Not this nonsense. Now he does something which is interesting. Just again, the only thing that is good here is his body rotation.
Yes.
Okay, so instead of doing that nonsense where you're like, grabbing this is typical, self-defense class crap. Just hit him.
Yep.
Just come across with that same body motion and same rotation and same follow through, and just take his head clean off, and then follow up with striking. I mean, you will get out of it without a doubt. As soon as and if you're
or just pull the stupid burqa down over his eyes.
Right. So the rest of the stuff, again, this is very typical stuff. I mean, we want to, attack the exact offending appendage. So if you're grabbing me with your right hand, I'm going to destroy your right hand. If you're going to grab me with your left hand, if you're going to kick no, dude, attack the man. Who gives a crap? That is just the beginning of the attack. This useless, non-massage choke.
That's right.
I mean, it's not even an attack. You wouldn't see us practicing this ever.
No, you wouldn't.
But, this guy felt it was good enough to put it out in public. Now, even like, let's say you go through this nonsense, there is literally no reaction from Burqa Man.
No.
Like he's not going to move. He's not going to pull his hands back. He's not going to, you haven't really done anything to him. That hand coming over the top, why aren't you hitting him? Why aren't you taking his head clean off? Hit him. You're not doing anything to him.
Is Burqa Man wearing socks and sandals?
Bro, that's a bold move. I love that shit.
Look, I can't tell. No, it's just the sandals.
Just sandals. But yeah, so again, I don't understand what's going on. I mean, I wear like 4 clothes I wear like either. So I can't comment on anybody's fashion sense. So like either work out in it or ride a motorcycle in it.
And anybody who saw your awareness videos will know that.
Right. Thank you. Thank you. So so yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I love it. So anyway, so yeah, this is but again, this crap will be taught and practiced by millions of people.
Yep.
All the time in like every dojo around the world. So yeah. And this is why it's useless. It's a waste of time. And you're gonna be better off like, lifting some weights or hitting a heavy bag.
But I like to throw it up at the end.
Oh, wait, now I gotta watch.
He's so proud of himself. Watch this. It's like,
yeah
boy.
Oh yeah, boy. There you go. Look at me.
Right.
Look at me. Yes. Awesome stuff. So yeah, great. And I think we got one more So woman's collar grab, a lot of women's offenses. But again, this is important because this is what people are looking at. And, there's a lot of stuff, that is out there. And, look, last year, I said there were, we talked about this before. There were 9 million gun purchases. Half of them were women.
Yep.
So they're getting into it. Now, this next one, my judo people. Oh, shit.
Don't worry, guys. TikTok is here to save your life.
Yeah, I can't even. All right. Okay, we want to pick up Natasha. All right, so let me go back. Okay. Collar grab. Again, she's using her gi as. I mean, this is not a serious self-defense move.
At first I thought this was going to be something like at a Pornhub or something. The look she's given. I'm thinking, he's,
Yeah. But yeah, I can't. This is not serious. This is just a goofy. This is just a goofy demonstration. This is a demonstration. This is not self-defense. Again, and if you think this is,
they did hashtag it women's self-defense.
All right, so we'll approach this as if this were a self-defense technique.
Yep.
So, and we'll just go over, the issues with it. One, again, same as before. With this type of approach, it's not really, okay, it's just somebody kind of being creepy, getting in your space. So if you just said, get off of me or stop and backed away, probably would stop the assault. In fact, according to the studies we've had, a couple of years ago, we were doing campus safety. I mean, it's literally about over 90% of sexual assaults were stopped by either verbal or physical resistance.
Yeah.
So when somebody comes up to you, they're not expecting you to react. Like, they take approach of attack and in a way that they think they're going to be most successful. So this guy comes up to her. I don't know what he's doing. And quite honestly, I don't know what would actually. I mean, look, it's a guy and a girl. If this were a guy and a guy, well, whatever. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Okay.
This, it would, if they're of equal size and strength, might not be able to justify it, even though you can say it was an assault, but there's really nothing that would suggest that your life is in danger. And you would even do this. Again, so this is what we call a fine motor skill. So now you've got to remember, one, you've got to be wearing a gi or a jacket. You could do this in a jacket for sure.
Yep.
If you're wearing a coat, without a doubt. Two is like, you got to hit this. You got to be like precise with this stuff. So as soon as he's getting grabbed, like, he doesn't let go of the collar. He doesn't react. If you know a wrist lock, go up to somebody you like are friends with and just be like, hey, let me do a wrist lock. As soon as you feel discomfort, resist.
Yeah.
You will not get that wrist lock. Unless you like really kind of crank it and throw it on before they have a chance to react.
That's right.
That's a possibility. But if you're doing it, for the most part, as soon as they feel their hand going, they react in a way that, it's an instinct. So, doing all this crap, while it's fancy and fun and may make, John Wick 4, this is not a self-defense technique by any stretch of the imagination. So a primary self-defense technique, by the way, not that this would be like even if it were viable, because you're wearing a coat, it would be like a support technique.
Yep.
We start with primary stuff like just you, right? So no weapons, no EDC, nothing. You're wearing a t-shirt, shorts, just stuff that you can't really take advantage of. Like worst case scenario, you've got nothing, nothing hidden.
That's right.
And then we work into weapons and things like that, and doing like collar stuff, and guys wear jackets and sweatshirts and things like that. But stuff like this, is it's cute, it's good for the demo. But the problem is, people think this is, what she could actually do to that guy.
And look at the numbers. What is that? 69,500 likes on this.
I don't want to look at it. Meanwhile, I got a backpack that turns into a bulletproof vest in like less than a second, and I got 1,000 likes.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I don't know. So yes. So this is where we're at. That's it. I mean, look, it all comes down to the same thing, but we see these things time and time again. I mean, you gotta put things within the context of reality.
Exactly.
What if I were an attacker trying to impose my will over a target? What would I do? Where would I stop? What would dissuade me? We always get back to, day one. 3 things every attacker fears. Okay. Caught, identified, injured. Boom.
Yep.
So once you start messing with that risk reward formula, then, they start to back off. Most assaults don't end with you knocking somebody out and completely defeating them. Most assaults end with the attacker stopping. It's not like, I know we like to think that we go and knock them out, and we train like that. We practice with that intent. But for the most part, it's just like, dude just stops and goes away because it's just too much trouble.
That's right.
You don't, we think of, because when we get into these things, we're like you're in some type of competition or, sporting event. We're like, what if this was a BJJ guy or whatever? I'm like, if this was someone trying to impose their will on me to get something that I have that they want, there's going to be a cost benefit, going on during this altercation where they're going to just say, the juice ain't worth the squeeze.
Yep.
And it's like dealing with bullies. If you resist, if you don't make if you make yourself an easy target, they'll take the low hanging fruit all the time because they feel they can get away with it. So, training with an attitude, and this is where all training helps. Because if you train just to resist and just to be aware, that will help you a lot. So even if it was like you grab my collar and I'm trying to do some fancy crap, the fact that you're kind of moving around and fighting back, helps.
Of course.
It helps.
Yeah.
It's just what you're not doing is completely submitting and being, and just be like, whatever you want, I'm sorry, and letting your fear overwhelm you. You're doing something, you have a plan, right? So, and when you have a plan, it's interesting, when you start practicing and learning and studying, even casually, guys that I know that, work for us that will like, hey, I was watching that video and then all of a sudden I'm just, I'm looking out in the world and, I'm paying attention to shit just a little differently.
Yep.
So when you present yourself to the world, like we do in the Aware course, which, George apparently doesn't like how I'm dressed.
I had to plug it
up. When you're presenting yourself out to the world and you're up looking around, counting hats, looking at people's hands, moving with casual purpose, you're not going to look like somebody who's going to be taken advantage.
That's right.
And it's a subtle cue for somebody just to say, let me just get the next one.
Yeah.
That guy looks like, it's just like, that's how quick it happens because it happens on an instinctual level. So don't forget, while you're doing this, while you're putting this message out, your attacker has been doing this stuff for a living, right? If you're whatever, you're you're mugging, you're whatever, you are out there in the street every day, trying to get a hustle and trying to get over it, right? So, you have developed a level of instinct and awareness that, a lot of guys in the dojo don't have.
Yep.
Never have. That's why I always chuckle when they're like, well, not if he was trained. Dude, I'll take a trained guy over an untrained street fighter every day of the week. Because the trained guy, there's some part in him that gives a damn.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's in the dojo, he's training, he's working hard, he's getting into the whole culture. Dude, the street fighter and the street thug, they don't give a shit. Not as much as that guy.
That's right.
And they've been doing it. Not thinking about it. Not worried about, zombie hugs, zombie chokes, and getting their next belt or the next tournament or next competition. They're like, look, I got to go get listen, if I don't impose my will on this guy, I don't eat.
Yep.
Whole different thing than a hobby. Right? I mean, that's really what it is. It's just a hobby.
Yep.
So that's it. So look, looks like we're coming to the end. And I want to remind everybody to vote for my kid.
Second shameless plug.
Shameless plug for no money whatsoever. Just click the damn button over and over again because everybody else is doing it.
Yep.
Apparently, as we learned. It's fun. I much appreciate it if you remember to do it. I put it in the chat. I'll just put it in here again. George, what do you got planned for this weekend?
Oh shit, I don't even know. I'll probably just go spend some family time.
Yeah. I got a basketball game tonight or this afternoon. Not me playing. Oh goddamn. My son. And then we're getting some weather Friday. Well, you must be getting it too.
Yeah, we've gotten blasted the last week and a bit.
But how about the weather?
That's exactly what I'm saying. No, between snow and fucking ice cold.
You didn't get it, dude. Right over here.
I just yeah.
So yeah, man, we're getting hit with that stuff. So we'll know.
Shit.
I mean, so I'm like, of course, everyone, apparently people make French toast when it snows because all the milk, eggs, and bread are gone.
Yeah.
God, I don't know what the hell's going on, but you can't live. I eat eggs. I mean, I don't eat bread and milk that much. So, I mean, my kids do. They do, but it's like, well, I just got one kid now. My daughter's out in California. So, but that was, yeah. I don't know. I was just looking at a private message.
Ah.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's right. I don't know what he was talking about. If it doesn't come up, guys, if you leave comments in the private comments, I mean, I appreciate it, but, put them in the mainstream so we can talk about them. That way we don't, I don't lose them. We can only pay attention to one thing. I'm not that smart. I can't multitask. So, I appreciate the private comment. If you don't want to comment, that's cool too. But just let me know. I can only really comment on the things that are coming up in like somewhat real time in the public comments. Yeah. So, any event. So that's it. That's all I got. George, anything else?
Yeah, I got nothing exciting after watching those videos. I'll be back on TikTok later, looking for more. It's just I gotta tell you, it's just unbelievable how many people are turning to social media for their source of education and all of these different fucking apps, and the problem is the next generation, this is the shit they're watching, right? So our next generation of self-protection instructors are going to be fucking teaching that shit.
Yeah, exactly. And first I got to say a shout out to Greg for voting. Sorry. And yes, but to your point, that's where they're getting their information. And honestly, it's like, and I think it's going to be interesting what's happening now because people, as we noticed, stopped with the lockdowns and the crap. People are going into the metaverse as things become more virtual. People are losing the ability to interact with other human beings in a real life setting. Right? So, I mean, this is an interesting trend. We are not in that group. My kids aren't really in that group, but like the generations behind them, the kids that are growing up now, like grammar school type, kids that are coming into this world, it's going to be interesting. My only advice is get your kid out, have them do stuff physical.
Yep.
Right. If they don't play sports, get them into martial arts. I'm like, it's something physical out there interacting while we, bust on martial arts. I mean, look, they can do judo, jujitsu, whatever. But I like those the best for what they are.
Absolutely.
Obviously boxing. But again, like you can go into those like judo, jujitsu, and you don't have to be the best, guy in there, as opposed to like mainstream sports, in different, whether it's soccer, basketball, football, wrestling, it's like, yeah, you have to have a certain skill set for success. But again, I always like tell parents if the kids can tolerate wrestling, even if they're not good, to go learn it.
Yeah.
Because it's an awesome base sport. Even the worst wrestler will beat the freaking guy who has no wrestling skills, in the schoolyard 10 out of 10 times. Right. So, get them out there, get them interacting, understand about, pain and, risk reward. They get, you get a respect for your fellow human being, as opposed to just sitting in front of a screen or a virtual world. And now that, kids, I mean, the homeschooling, the masking, there are interesting studies coming out now where it's like, even like kids with developmental age, with the masks, their IQ points are dropping like 20 points.
Yeah.
Because part of development is reading and seeing faces and learning language and things like that. So, whatever. I mean, my kids are through it, but if you're younger, you're having kids, I'm like, the only thing would just have them like do something physical, interacting. Don't worry about them being the best. Just have them participate. If they find something they enjoy, awesome.
Yep.
Awesome. Because like this stuff, what's going on, they're going to be, thinking that, there's always going to be sharks out there. There's always going to be people that are going to be imposing their will over you and willing to take that step. And if you're sitting there, and you venture outside your house, like, like you're in a whole world of hurt.
Absolutely.
So on that bombshell, I want to thank everybody for coming. We're good to go for next week. Until next time, train honestly.